Supreme Court hands a defeat to George Soros and his anti-American overseas groups. Here's Richard Pollack with more.
Although it's been barely mentioned in the mainstream press, the Supreme Court recently dealt a big blow to liberal billionaire George Soros and his overseas operations. On June 29th, the court, in a 5-3 vote, declared Soros could not use federal funds to pursue anti-American campaigns. Scott Walter, the president of the Capital Research Center, says the Supreme Court decision was, in fact, a blow to Soros and his anti-American overseas operations.
The latest Supreme Court decision has real value because it establishes in principle that the American government does not have to take our tax dollars and hand them to groups that are opposed to American interests and American foreign policy.
President Barack Obama poured more than $170 million of taxpayer funds into various Soros groups, including East-West Management and its Open Society foundations. Most of the groups have pursued anti-American policies. The bulk of Soros' funds came from the U.S. Agency for International Development, known as AID. To gauge just how radical Soros is, the billionaire's group, called Open Society Foundations, opposed U.S. federal prostitution and sex trafficking laws. The Soros position on prostitution and sex trafficking is especially shocking in light of today's Me Too movement, and it's also surprising in light of the federal prosecution of Jeffrey Epstein's aides in his sordid sex trafficking case. Walter says the Soros sex trafficking position is very outside American values, which is why the Supreme Court case was largely ignored by the mainstream media.
Yes, they are very far outside the bounds, which is why the rest of the media, unlike you, is keeping this quiet because they don't want to have Americans hearing that George Soros is willing to fight to the death for sex trafficking.
Walter says the Soros sex trafficking position is very outside American values, which is why the Supreme Court case was ignored by the mainstream media. For One American News, this is Richard Pollack from Washington.